Hello, hello. This is Rod, Live Within Your Means. Now, you are actually on the Live Within Your Means YouTube channel. This is a little web page I've got here, livewithinyourmeans.com, where I've tried to encourage people for many years to live within their means. And there's not a lot of special stuff on here. I've got a link to a video, Venezuela's Warning to the World, and trying to encourage people to live within their means. And I try to teach them by example because I live within my means. And I've been doing it for a long time. I believe living within your means is the key to being honest in business. And I've worked in real estate a lot of years, worked as a state certified appraiser, worked also as a real estate broker. I've seen people live way beyond their means, fully leveraged or highly leveraged, who thought they were worth millions of dollars back in 2008. And I watched them lose everything. I saw other people who live within their means, and they do fine. They make it through the hard times even when they're not working because they live within their means. And I'm going to warn you here about some things that are happening. Now, like I said, I do have this Live Within Your Means YouTube channel. Um, it's interesting. I'm not real entertaining, um, but hopefully some of my advice is wise. And last week I put out a video that got more hits than any of my videos have gotten, and I don't get a lot of volume, but I was trying to tell people, hey, look, the banks are all of a sudden buying up gold and silver in large, large volumes. They're buying more than all the people combined. I spoke with someone that works at APMEX, who's worked there a lot of years, who invests his money in precious metals. Precious metals. It's like, why are the banks all of a sudden buying all this gold and silver? And why are they announcing that they have put a lot of money in Bitcoin? Could it be because they want all of you to sell whatever gold and silver you have, to maybe empty out your 401k and invest it in Bitcoin so that their Bitcoin can skyrocket even further? Or is it because they know what this trend means? When things go up sharply, they go down sharply. And I've watched this, I've studied other trends. This could go a lot higher. At the same time, things could turn very quickly. And those of you that are invested in there could lose your shirts, lose everything that you've got. If you've got lots of money to lose, you may be fine. You may be fine. But I have encouraged people over the years to live within their means, because if you go to my webpage, Live Within Your Means, and look at this Venezuela's Warning to the World up here behind this flag with Donald Trump's accomplishments on it. Um, you'll see a 20 Bolivar note and a 5 Bolivar note. Now, let me show you. This is a 20 Bolivar note from Venezuela. I interviewed a man named Josh Holt, who married a gal from Venezuela a few years ago. He went down there, was kind of framed from what he explained, and put in prison for a couple of years. They wanted the big ransom money from the Americans. And his wife told me that 5 Bolivars back in 1989, could buy food for a family for 3 months. Um, if a 20 Bolivar note would actually buy food for a family for a year back in 89, that's a lot. Think about how much you'd spend for food for a family in a year right now. I mean, 3,000, 5,000. Some people might even spend $10,000 a year on food, I guess, if they eat real well, have a big family. And yet, this 20 Bolivar note bought food for a family, according to Josh Holt's wife, for a year back in 1989. I give these away because these won't even buy a meal. They won't even buy a pack of bubble gum now. But I bought some to try to encourage people to live within their means and encourage their governments to do the same. Because we don't want to see this happen to our dollar, what we've seen happen to the German marks in Weimar Germany during and after World War I. Venezuela started promising people things. They were a very wealthy nation years back with all their oil, and some leaders got in that told people they give them free education, free healthcare, free everything, and moved toward a socialist government. And now look, what used to buy food for a family for a year won't buy food for a meal now. Um, so this is really dangerous when we see people investing money. Let me give you an idea. My understanding is there's more money invested in Bitcoin right now than there was in housing back during when the 2008 crisis happened. This is absolutely frightening because this, just like it went up from nothing, that Boulevard note could be worth more down the road than a Bitcoin because it's actually physical paper. And, you could light it on fire and get a fire going. You can educate your kids with it. But this Bitcoin, talk about something that is, it's a concept, but it's not physical. It's not something that, you know, I don't even know how to deal with it myself. And it's such something that made me so uncomfortable. I didn't buy it. Now, granted, I could be rich as heck if I had bought it and if I had sold it all now. And some people think they're going to get rich, and there's a lot of people that think they're going to with that are going to lose everything they have and more. Now, gold, on the other hand, has been going up for a lot of years. These are some charts to show you that back in 2000, gold had gone down. Back in 99, it actually went to $250 an ounce. And you'll see how that trend has been pretty steady up, clear until 2011 when it reached over $1,900 an ounce. And now there was a spike in there, just like you got with Bitcoin, not that bad, but where it spiked up, then it went down, then it bounced around. And I don't think it was done at all going up, but it did go down for a number of years. And now it's on its way up. It spiked recently, and what happened? Then it goes down again. And, it spiked and got up over $2,000 an ounce. And then it dropped way down. Well, it dropped down about 10%, got down close to $1,800 an ounce. In fact, I think it's even been below that. But I anticipate that it'll more than double what it did here. In fact, a lot of people believe it'll get up over $10,000 an ounce. I won't be surprised. Um, I've been encouraging people the last few years to put their money in platinum, gold, silver. First of all, food storage. Make sure you have the things you need and have some cash on hand because we still use the American dollar here in America. But if you go back to my YouTube channel, you'll notice that over the last year and a half, here a little over a year ago, I was encouraging people to put some money into silver, encouraging people to put their money in gold and silver here. That was about a year and a half ago. And I said platinum may be a better investment than gold or silver in the short run. I think in the long run, silver over the next few years is probably going to be one of the best investments people can make. And if we look at these trends, this platinum that was usually higher than gold. Now this is an artificial. Look at this. Artificially, people manipulated the market, and this shot up. And what did it do next? It may have jumped around just a little bit up there. Then it shot down. And you'll notice that it went down just about as much as it went up right there. And here a bunch of people, they invested everything in it, a lot of money in it, and then they lost their shirts because they were, there it was rising. When things are taken off like that, is that really the time to buy it? Here's what the trend was really doing. This is just an artificial, uh, spike and drop. And, great for the people that were able to buy a bunch of platinum down here after that spike up there to well over $2,100 an ounce. You think maybe some people were trying to manipulate the market so they could get people to invest their money in platinum? Really, lots of them. So and then they hurried and sold all they had. Then it dropped down. What do you think they did? They probably bought again after it dropped. But a lot of innocent people probably got in there. Not that they're all innocent, but people hoping to get rich when they saw that skyrocketing, and that wasn't the time to get in it when it was skyrocketing. That was the time to hide and watch while other people, got in there, and a lot of people lost an awful lot of money at that point. And anyway, then it went up and hit, which looked like a more real, uh, you know, peak when it got up over $1,800 an ounce, and then it went down. And notice again here, started spiking up a little, then it went down. These sharp spikes up usually have pretty sharp spikes after them. And I was really encouraging people over the last year and a half to be buying platinum because, geez, it got down under $1,000 an ounce and even got down. I believe it even got down under $700 an ounce. That would have been a great time to buy. And for a lot of people, it probably was. So, silver, on the other hand, you'll notice here it kind of had spiked up and went down, and then it really spiked up, and then it's been going down. But you notice if you take those little things out of there and look at the trend, what it did is went up, went down, and it probably has a long way to go up. So back in 2011, 2012, it actually went up to about $45 an ounce. And then back here in I think it was 2015, maybe it was 2016, it got down around $14 an ounce. Would have been a great time for people to buy. And now I anticipate that it'll more than double what it did here at $45 an ounce. In fact, I believe it'll more than triple what it did. And just over the next couple of years, probably. And, things are looking disconcerting in a lot of ways. And, but those that take a look at my channel, those I speak with, you can buy Bitcoin if you want, but I've never bought any, and I certainly would not be inclined to buy it right now when I've seen it spike up like that. That would be very unwise. Some people will buy a fraction of a Bitcoin. If it's 47, 48 bucks per coin, not per ounce, per conceptual coin, um, you know, it would be just as easy for that to drop right back down. And I'm concerned about a lot of people that are going to get hurt. Is it possible that a lot of these big banks and these great big companies worth tens of billions and even hundreds of billions of dollars have invested money in that? Now they're telling everyone that because they want out. They look like their Bitcoin's worth a lot right now, and they want you to invest all you are willing to into it to buy them out, and that way you take the losses, not them. And it may go a lot higher. I just want to warn you of what could happen, and so you've been warned. A lot of people just see it going places, and um, it may go a lot higher. But if you don't have that money to lose, please don't be one of the people investing in this to lose everything. Do what you feel in your heart you should do, not what you want to do, and you'll always fare better. I think God tells us frequently, and if we're really listening, maybe He tells us continually what we should be doing, and it's often not what everybody else is doing. So, this is Rod. Live within your means, and have a wonderful day.